Close our eyes. Just begin to turn your awareness to your breath. Letting your breath settle down, letting yourself arrive to where you're seated. Letting your breath settle down, letting your body settle, letting your mind settle down. And turn your awareness to your body. Just really getting in touch with what your physical form, how it feels this morning. You could bring your attention back to your breath. And we'll turn our awareness to our thoughts and our feelings, just noticing what is going through your mind this morning. And as always, we're an observer of our thoughts. We're not getting caught up or attached. Eventually, we let that go and come back to the breath. The breath is our anchor. Now allow an intention to arise for your practice. And keep it close at hand for when you feel your mind wandering off as you move through this practice this morning, just to help you refocus, keeping your mind in the present. And we'll bring our hands together at the heart center. We'll open class with an Om, and you can feel free to just listen, or maybe you'd like to join in this morning. We begin with an exhale and a nice deep inhale. And you could release your hands, open your eyes. We'll make our way to our hands and knees. I'll move back to my mat here. Turn that off. Put some music on for us in the studio here. And we'll tuck our toes and we'll come into Ardha Mukha Savasana, our downward dog. That feels kind of good, maybe sometimes to come right into dog, right? Fine. Push into your hands, spread the fingers wide, heels are reaching for the ground, turn the tailbone towards the sky. You can work on straightening your legs, or if your body needs it, allow your knees to have a little bit of a bend to them. But relax your head. Gaze is in the general area of the belly button. You can have your eyes closed. And then we'll pedal the legs, so bending one knee and then the other. Waking up those toes, the ankles, stretching the calves. When that feels complete, you can just go ahead and come into your neutral downward dog. And we'll inhale, walk or hop those feet forward, come into your Uttanasana. So again, you can work on straightening the legs, but if your body needs it, allow your knees to have a little bit of a bend, or maybe a lot of a bend. It's okay, whatever feels good. But let your head relax, let your spine hang long, right? You're letting gravity pull our spine towards the earth. Your hands could be on the ground next to your feet. Maybe you want to rest them on your ankles, or maybe you just let them dangle. Feel that nice stretch down the backs of the legs. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. When you grab opposite elbows, you're kind of pulling with your hands on your biceps there. And that helps create a little bit more length in your spine. And then we could release the arms and we'll slowly roll up, so like a rag doll. Let your arms dangle. Keep the chin tucked in as you slowly roll up. And then the shoulders come down and away, but keep the chin tucked. Tuck the tailbone and then let the head come up. So I thought we'd do some standing warm-ups today. I'd like to change things up every once in a while. So we'll do some standing warm-ups and we'll get into the joints. We'll do some breath work. We'll stretch a little bit before we move into our flow. So first, we'll go to the ankles. So you can lift the right knee up a little bit. So you're gonna have to balance here. So you might use a wall if your balance is not so hot this morning. So you can go over to a wall. But we'll lift that right knee and we'll circle the ankle in one direction. Circle it the other way. And then when that feels okay to you, go ahead, come back to standing. We'll do the other leg. So we'll lift the knee, circle the ankle in one direction, circle the other way. And we'll just bring that left foot back to the earth, find your standing. Let's see, I have to look down here. Oh yeah, okay, it's the knees. All right, so we'll do the knees. So you kind of bend the knees a little bit and circle them in one direction. So your hips are probably going to go with you, but try to make most of the movement in the knees. And then go ahead, circle the other way. And then you can go ahead, straighten, come back to your standing. And we'll do hips. So circle your hips in one direction. Circle them the other way. And then you could just come back to neutral. And we'll do the torso. So again, your hips are probably going to come into play here, but try to circle the torso in one direction. With like, maybe you're like trying to dodge something, somebody's throwing something at you, right? Whoa. And then we'll circle the other way. So we don't do this type of movement very often, right? So it probably feels a little awkward, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll come back to neutral. And we'll do the shoulders. Now, the way we'll do our shoulders here this morning is kind of like a swimming motion. So you bring one forward and one back, and then up. So like up and back. And then reverse that. I know this feels a little awkward to me, but just do the best you can. But feel it in the shoulders, right? Do what feels good to your shoulders. And then we'll just come back to neutral. And we'll bring our wrists out in front of us so like you're pushing something away from you. And we'll rotate them in one direction. Rotate the other way. You could do opposite too. They don't have to be going the same way. It's just whatever feels good to you. And we'll release that. Okay, we'll bring our arms up in goalpost. And we'll bring the right palm down. Okay. And then we'll switch. So just go back and forth. And then we'll go ahead and we'll release that. We'll do neck circle. So we'll inhale nice and tall, reaching, and then we'll exhale, bring the chin to the chest. And then just go ahead and begin doing your neck circles here. Or head circles, however you want to think about it. The next time your chin comes to your chest, you can reverse. getting out those snap, crackles, and pops in the cervical spine. Let's go around one more time. When your chin comes to your chest, you can inhale back to neutral. All right, so let's do breath of joy. I learned this one in yoga school, and I actually never taught it in a class. I don't know why. I guess I kind of forgot about it. This is a fun one. So I'll demonstrate to you how it goes, all right? And then we'll do it together. So let me show you it first. We inhale, and this is all one inhale, okay? So you inhale a little, not a full inhale. You inhale just a little bit. You bring the arms out in front of you. And then you inhale, you sweep them down and to the side. And then you inhale, and that's one whole inhale, right? So it's 3 parts. Then on your exhale, you bend your knees and you go, and you bring the arms up behind you, okay? And you say, ha, and you exhale all of the way out, okay? So it's 3-part inhale, right? So it's and then you come back up to standing. Okay, let's try it again. 3-part inhale. Let's slowly come back up. Let's try it one more time. We'll inhale. And slowly come back up. Just let your body settle. That's a pranayama breath. Okay, so let's just go back and forth. So we're swinging our arms back and forth. And then we'll come back to center. This one is called windmill. So on our inhale, we go up and to the left. And then exhale, come down to the right. So you're using both hands. Inhale up and to the left. Exhale down and to the right. Inhale up, left. Exhale, right. Inhale up, left. And we'll exhale, right. And then on our inhale, we'll just come back to neutral. Make sure you move slow when you come back to neutral. You don't want to hurt your back or pull anything. All right, we'll do the other side. So we inhale up to the right, and we exhale, bend over to the left. Inhale up to the right, look up. Exhale, bend down to the left. Inhale up to the right. Exhale, bend to the left. One more time. Inhale up to the right. Exhale, bend to the left. Keeping a little micro bending your knees as well when you're bending. Slowly come back up to center. Well, now bring your feet maybe a little bit wider than hip distance. And we interlace our hands behind our back. And we inhale, look up. And we exhale, we fold. Again, you can keep a micro bending your knees here. We'll inhale, come back up to standing. This time when you bend, try to bend over to the left on your exhale. And then we inhale, we come back up to center. Exhale, bend over to the right. We inhale back to center. We'll do it one more time on each side. Exhale to the left. Inhale up to center. Exhale over to the right. And then we inhale up to center and we release our arms. Again, feet are, this time make the feet as wide as your yoga mat. And we'll exhale, we bend into a squat. Now bring your hands flat on the floor in front of you, right? Your elbows are in between your legs. And then on your inhale, you come up. So you're in a forward fold. Your hands are still on the floor, but you're straightening your legs. And then we exhale, we bend into the squat. And then let's reverse that breath there. So we'll inhale here, and then we exhale, straighten the legs. Keep the hands planted on the ground. And then we inhale, we bend into our squat. Exhale, straighten. Let's try it one more time. We'll inhale, bend into the squat. And then exhale, straighten the legs. You can walk the feet back together. Maybe you heel toe them back together. And then we slowly roll back up to standing. And then one last stretch here, and we'll move into our flow. This is monkey stretch. So we let the left arm slide down as you bring this right elbow up. And inhale through center. And then right hand slides and you bring this left elbow up. Inhale through center. Exhale, do the other side. Right side. Let's do one more round. Left side. And then right side. Good. Well, that was fun. I hope you guys like that. I'm going to come back to the top of our mat. And let's see what we got going here. So we'll inhale. Actually, I'll face you. We'll sweep the arms up overhead. So we'll interlace our hands, release the pointer and thumb, right? So your one thumb's over top the other. Your pointer fingers are together, pointing towards the sky. We inhale nice and tall, and we exhale over to the right. And we inhale through center, exhale left. Inhale through center, and we release our arms. We'll bring our hands to our hips, and we'll bend the knees, and we'll open out to that long edge of the mat. Toes are pointed forward. Bring your arms up in an X. Nice breath in here. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. And then we'll nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, turn the heels in, toes out, bend the knees, bend the elbows, come into goddess. And then we inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Release your arms. Keep the right toes pointed forward, or point them forward if they're not already. Turn that left foot so that the edge of the foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. And we'll deeply bend in this right knee. Keep the hips turned towards the long edge. Inhale the arms out, warrior 2. So you're gazing over your right fingertips. And I like what Gabrielle used to say, my old yoga instructor whose classes I used to attend. And she said, gaze as if you're seeing things for the very first time, with new eyes. And then we inhale, we turn that right palm towards the sky, come into your peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. So turn your chest towards the sky, gaze up towards that right thumb. If it's okay for your knee, see about bending a little bit deeper in that right knee. Stretching on the right side of the body. We inhale back up. Straighten that right leg. Now you can release the arms, and you might have to shorten your stance here, preparing for your triangle. But right toes are pointed forward, hips come back towards that long edge of the mat. And we inhale the arms out. Exhale, reaching to the right, let this left hip really come up. And then bend at your torso, find your triangle. Turn the gaze up towards the left thumb if you're feeling like your balance is okay this morning. If not, you could gaze at the ground. Tuck that tailbone in. And then we inhale, come back up. We'll exhale, we'll cartwheel the hands, but come into a runner's lunge here, right? We're not moving through a vinyasa. So back knee is lifted, you're on the ball of the left foot. Come up on your fingertips and bring your chin out of your chest. And then we'll plant this left palm on the ground, right next to the foot. And we'll inhale, sweep that right arm up and open, so you're twisting to the right. Deep breath in. Exhale, return that right hand to the ground. We'll let this left knee come to the earth and tuck the left toes. If you have a block, I recommend having it nearby. We will be eventually making our way into half moon. And I'd like to give you this forewarning because you might want to do it at the wall if your balance is really challenged this morning. So you would put your back against the wall. And that's what the block will be for. So have the block over on that right corner of the mat. All right, from here, we'll inhale the arms up. We'll come into Anjane Asana. We'll exhale those hands back to the ground. Okay, now this is where we're going to come into that half moon. So we'll tuck those left toes, right? And you'll bring this right hand out at a 45-degree angle, maybe on that block, maybe you already have it on the ground, or maybe you're against the wall. I would recommend walking over to the wall at this point. If you're doing balancing, we'll hop that left foot forward, right? Come up, balancing on that right leg, bring the left hand to the left hip. Left leg is parallel to the ground. Flex that left foot. Stack that left hip on top of the right, so you're opening out, right? And then see about turning your gaze, lifting that left arm, and turning your gaze up towards that left thumb. That's a little more difficult. All right, let's come out. So we'll come back into that runner's lunge with that left knee lifted. And hopefully when you come out with grace, right? Okay, so we'll inhale, straighten that right leg, bring the forehead towards the right knee. That's actually your exhale. We'll inhale it forward. We'll do several rounds of that. Exhaling, straighten. Inhale forward. Exhale, straighten. One more round. Inhale forward. Exhale, straighten. And then we'll plant the hands and we'll step that right foot back. Find your high plank position. Body like a push-up. And then you choose which chaturanga you want to do. So on your exhale, you'll slowly lower down, either all the way to the belly, or maybe you hover. And then we inhale cobra, or maybe you do upward dog. And exhale downward dog. So just pause here in your downward dog. Use it as a moment of rest and just notice how your right side feels. And on our inhale, we'll step or hop those feet forward. Let's come up halfway. So we lengthen our spine in Ardha Uttanasana, reaching with the crown of the head. Draw the belly in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, come up to standing. Bring the palms together, look in between your palms, and then exhale, bring the palms down at your heart center. Take a pause here. Maybe you come back to your intention. You could release the hands, find your mountain. We'll move to that sequence again. Since we end up in that half moon, you can have that block maybe over on the left side of your mat now. Actually, to be more towards the back of your mat because we will be facing the other way. So have it on the other side. Okay, let's begin by inhaling, arms up overhead. Release the pointer and thumb, maybe opposite pinky on top this time. Reach long on your inhale, squeeze your head. Exhale, bend to the left. And then inhale through center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, release the arms. Bring them to your hips. Slight bend in your knees as you open out to that long edge of your mat. Inhale, come up into your five-pointed star. Breathe. On your exhale, we turn those heels in, toes out, bend the knees, bend the arms, goddess. So we're a little more warmed up now. You might want to practice with lifting one heel and then the other. And then maybe you could balance on your toes. Maybe not, it's okay. Keep the tailbone tucked in. Deep breath in as we come back, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Exhale, release the arms. So we'll keep those left toes pointed towards the short edge of your mat. Turn the right foot now so it's parallel to the other edge of your mat. Deeply bend in that left knee. If it's safe for your knee, you don't have to have a deep bend if that doesn't work for you. Turn the hips towards that long edge. Inhale the arms out. Turn the gaze over the left fingertips now. Warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Draw that belly in and up. Maybe you engage your Ujjayi breath. We turn the left palm towards the sky, reverse the warrior. Gaze up at that left thumb. Stretch on that left side of the body. Reach long with that left hand. And we inhale back up, straighten that left leg. You can relax the arms as you shorten the stance, preparing for triangle on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach to the left. Bend at the torso, find your triangle. Relax your jaw. We inhale back up. We exhale, cartwheel those hands. Find that runner's lunge. So back knee is lifted. You're on the ball of the right foot. Come up on those fingertips. Bring the chin out of the chest. Plant that right palm on the ground. Inhale, sweep that left arm open out to the left. So you're twisting to the left. Reach with that left hand up towards the sky, gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Let the right knee come to the earth and tuck the right toes. Now you're in a low lunge. And then we'll inhale, the arms up in the air, Anjaneyasana. Seat up, sinking maybe a little bit lower in the hips, stretching on that down the front of that right thigh. And then we exhale, bring the palms back down, preparing for our half moon. So that block or your hand is going to come out to the left side of your foot at a 45-degree angle. Tuck the right toes and begin to hop the right foot forward. Bring your hand on that block or the floor and then kick up that right leg. Bring the right hand on the right hip. So right leg is parallel to the ground, flex the right foot. Turn the right hip open so that it's stacked on top of the left. You could keep your hand on your right hip. If you are able, go ahead and extend that right arm up towards the sky. You don't have to do that. It makes it a little more challenging. And then turning your gaze up is way challenging. You could keep your gaze at the ground. And then we bring our hand back to our hip and we slowly and gracefully bring that right leg back. Come into that runner's lunge once again. Back knee lifted on the ball of the right foot. Inhale, chin out of the chest. Exhale, straighten left leg, bring the forehead towards the knee. So we'll move through 3 more rounds. Inhale, forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, forward. Plant the hand, step the left foot back, high plank. And then go ahead, lower down into your version of your vinyasa. Inhale, up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a pause here, noticing how the left side feels now. Use this downward dog here as a rest. On our inhale, we step or hop the feet forward, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeps the arms up overhead. Bring those palms together. Bring your gaze up between the palms. Exhale, down at your heart center. Letting your body settle down. You can release the hands if you like. Find a mountain. We'll bring the hands to the hips and we'll open out to the long edge of our mat once again. Feet, toes pointed forward this time. Toes pointed forward. We'll keep your hands on your hips as you inhale, chin up. Exhale, long fat back, hinge at the hips. Now when your spine is parallel to the ground, release your hands to the earth, round it forward into your wide-legged forward fold here. So different things you can do with your hands to help change the sensation in your body is turn your fingertips to the wall behind you, so your wrists are pointed forward. You can walk them back just a little bit. Let your head relax. Another way to do this is grab a hold of the big toes with the thumbs and the first two fingers. And then you can kind of pull on the toes to help draw your body closer towards center, towards your thighs, I guess. Not really, because your thighs are on either side, but you know what I mean. Relax your head. And if you have a hold of your toes, you can release that. And we'll bring our hands back to our hips, a little bit of a bend in the knees as you slowly inhale your way back into center. And we'll lock those legs back together. Come back to the top of your mat. We'll make our way back down. We'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive it forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step it back and move through a vinyasa of your choice, or maybe you just want to go right to downward dog. That's okay. Pausing in your downward dog. Really find your downward dog here, right? Pushing into those hands, turning that tailbone towards the sky. Work on straightening those legs. And then we bring the knees to the ground and push back into a child's pose. Allow your body to take a rest here. Make our way into our yin portion. We'll do a little bit more yang work, but we're working towards our yin here. Breathe into the back of the body. All right, so come up to hands and knees. This way you can come down to your forearms and slide those legs out behind you so you can make your way to your belly. You can just rest your forehead on your hands. All right, let's take our hands and bring them down by your side and lift up your hips and bring your hands underneath your hips, right? So the palms are on your thighs, kind of, they're in between your hips and your thighs. Your forehead comes to the earth. Bring your feet together, so your legs are together. And you could push the big toes into the floor. On our inhale, we're just gonna lift the head and chest. So this is a variation on locust. We'll prepare for a full one, but we'll do our prep work first before we come into the full one. And then exhale, you could turn your head to one side, leave your hands where they're at. Just relax here, let everything go, let your legs relax. Return your forehead back to center, so your forehead's on the floor. This time, just inhale, lift both legs. Keep the feet together. Exhale, release the legs, turn your head to the other side, relax, let everything go, but keep your hands where they're at. Really let everything relax here. Okay, let's do full version of this locust. So bring the forehead back to center. And on the inhale, legs, head, and chest come up. Deep breath in. Exhale, release, turn your head to the one side and just let everything go. You could take your hands out from underneath your hips. You could just let them rest by your side with your palms facing the ground. But just relax everything. Relax your legs, your glutes, your arms. And then make your way to your hands and knees. So you could bring your hands underneath your shoulders so you could push your way up to hands and knees. And we'll tuck our toes, find your down dog. We'll inhale, right leg back behind us, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that right knee towards that right wrist, find your pigeon. So you'll come down onto that right hip. You'll bring this right heel out away from your body. Turn those hips towards the short edge. Left leg is directly back behind you, toes pointed back, directly behind you. Don't let them turn in or out. And we inhale up on the fingertips. And we exhale, fold forward. So we'll set the timer here. We'll be here for about a minute. Sometimes I let it go a little bit longer. But just breathe into that right hip and let that right hip slowly open. Pigeon is a cooling pose, so feel your body beginning to cool down here. When you're ready, you can inhale your way back up. And you can plant those hands and roll on that right hip, tuck the left toes, and you can slide that right leg back. Find your downward dog. Pausing here for a moment, noticing how the right hip feels compared to the left. We'll inhale, left leg back. Exhale, draw that left knee towards the left wrist, coming into your pigeon on the other side. Slide that right leg back. Come onto that left hip. Make sure you turn those hips back towards the front of the mat. And we inhale up on the fingertips. And exhale, fold. Breathe into the left hip. Let that tension melt away. inhale, come back up. And we'll do that downward dog one more time. So let's tuck the right toes, and so you could slide that left leg back, finding your downward dog. Pausing here. And then we'll go ahead, let the knees come to the earth. Come to seated on your knee, your heels. Kind of hard to sit on your knees. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, we let the hips come off to the side so we can bring the legs around in front of us. So both legs are in front of us for now. You might need that blanket to sit on the edge of. So go ahead and grab that. And I thought this morning we try a brand new forward fold that I have not taught before. I was going through different poses the other night, and I was like, oh, let's try this one. You can do a forward fold of your choice if this is not going to work for you, okay? And if you have knee problems, this probably isn't the best for you. So take that right leg and left leg, and we'll bend it. So kind of like we're coming into our half hero. So this right heel is by that, or left heel is by the left hip. This right leg is extended long and it's engaged, so the foot is flexed, and we're sitting up nice and tall here. And then we exhale, we fold forward, and we grab a hold of that foot. Now again, you could do your forward fold that works for your body. If you're trying this, a strap could come in handy here too. If you happen to have one of those, you can wrap it around the ball of the foot and hold on to it with both hands. So this is called three-faced forward bend. So this is not a yin shape, but this core quality here that we're cultivating is harmony. And this is really good for elongating the entire back of the body. It massages the abdominal organs. It helps correct imbalances in the hips and legs. And we'll inhale, come back up. You can release the foot, slowly come back up. Come onto that right hip so that you could bring that left leg back in front of you. You could come on your hands and just let your legs relax here. You could stay where you're at. I'm just going to flip around so you can see me on the screen. All right, could bend that right leg, that right knee, so you can bring that right heel on the outside of that right. Oh, and another way you can do this, I'm sorry, I didn't say this earlier. You could sit up on a block, put that right hip, put a block under that right hip. That's another way to modify. So with got your props all set up, you're all set up here. The left leg is engaged, left foot is flexed. We inhale, and then exhale, fold. Reach for that left foot. So both hands have a hold of that left foot. And breathe. Release the foot and you slowly roll back up. Come onto that left hip so you can get that right leg out in front of you again. Come back on the hands and just let your body reset and relax. So that's an entirely different forward fold there. It creates all kinds of sensations in my body that I'm not used to in my forward fold. Really gets into different areas there. And then let's make our way onto our back. So you can move stuff out of the way if you have stuff in the way. If you want to use that core, you can bend the knees, tuck the chin, hands come together between the legs, and you slowly roll down. Keep your chin tucked in. Maybe you hover at that really hard point there. And then exhale, release it all. Mini Shavasana here. Bend the knees, bring the feet flat on the floor, and then bring the soles of the feet together as you let the knees open out into your reclining butterfly. I will set the timer for this. Let your arms be where it feels good to your body this morning. Overhead or down in the low Y, or left hand on heart, right hand on belly. Now we could breathe into that belly, expand, and then inhale. You could linger longer if you like, but if you want to come out, you bring the hands under thighs so you can help the knees back together. Hug those knees in. Massage your lower back in that sacrum area. Maybe you slow it down just a little bit more than normal as you massage that lower back. Slow massage here. We'll extend the left leg, but keep the right knee hugged in. Engage that left leg. Flex that left foot. You could relax the right foot and hug the right knee. We'll work on that hip a little bit more. So you can release the left hand, but keep the right hand on the top of that right knee, and you can move the knee around in a circle. So you're actually rotating that hip joint in its socket in one direction. I like to keep my left hand on my left hip to keep it tacked down on the ground. So you kind of push into that left hip so it doesn't come up off the ground. And then reverse the circles. And then you could extend that right leg. Take a pause here. Engage the right leg, flex the right foot, hug the left knee in. Release the right hand on top of that right hip. So you gently push it down. Left hand is on left knee, And we'll circle the knee in one direction. Circle the other direction. And then go ahead, release that left leg back down. So we're in a mini Shavasana. We'll come up. I'll talk us into cat pulling its tail, but if you want to just do a different twist, you can go ahead and do a different twist. Just take the twist of your choice. But if you want to do cat tail, we'll come up so that the left hip is stacked on top of the right. Your head is resting in your right hand. So you'll come up on that right elbow. There we go. Both legs are stacked on top of each other. We take that right leg, which is the bottom leg, right? Bend it so that the heel, yeah, there you go, good. And we'll take this left hand. No, bring the left hand in front of you so that it's on the floor. And then we'll slowly open up so that you're laying on your back here, right? So both shoulders are on the ground. Take this left leg and bring it out over to the right. Take the left hand. There's a lot of lefts and rights going on here, so listen carefully. The left hand grabs a hold of that bottom foot, which is the right foot. Right arm comes out into a T, or maybe it rests on top of that top leg, which is the left leg. Now, if you can turn your gaze over to the left. We'll be here for about a minute. This is a yin shape, believe it or not. Relax, release, receive. Now we come out, we bring our head back to neutral, release that bottom foot, extend the bottom leg. You can stack both legs on top of each other. Come onto your back now. So just roll all the way onto your back. Letting your body reset before we come to the other side. And then we roll up on that left hip, we bend that left elbow so you can rest your head in your hand. Right leg is stacked on top of the left. Right hand is in front of you for support. We bend that bottom knee. We bring this right leg out in front of us, keeping it long. And then we slowly open out onto our back, right? Getting both shoulders on the ground if you can. Then grab a hold of that left foot, which is the bottom foot, with the right hand. And then this left arm can just be out or if you want to rest it on that hip, there's a little opportunity. So you could just let the left arm come out. Let's let the timer here. Gaze can be to the right if that's okay for you. Release that foot. Let extend that bottom leg. Bring the right leg over and then roll onto your back. And it is time for Shavasana. So take your time, set yourself up. Really letting all effort go here. So completely relaxed. Let your body receive the benefit of your practice. Allow your mind to relax. Letting tension just completely melt away into the earth that's supporting you. I'll reconnect with you when it is time. You can begin to breathe awareness back into the body. Excuse me. Slowly reawakening. Eventually bending one knee and then the other so you can roll onto one side. And take a pause on your side. And then with your eyes closed, you can push the floor away and make your way up into your easy meditation seat or closed practice. Once you arrive in your meditation seat, turn that awareness to your body and your breath and your mind, noticing any shifts since your opening meditation. And if you like, we'll close practice with one Om so you can listen or join in. We bring the hands together, prayer to heart center. We take an exhale, a nice deep inhale. May your practice benefit you as well as all beings, and you take the benefits of your practice throughout your day and throughout your week. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.